Okay, well, hello everybody, and welcome to another lovely edition of our Realty Talk. Um, Clearly, I'm not our normal broker host, Jasmine, but kind of stepping in to help out. Um, I'm Curtis Price, so you guys can see my name on the thingy. But basically, today I just wanted to kind of have a more open format. I know there's a few of us on the call. But regardless of how many folks are on, all good. What I wanted to do is kind of look at um, where everybody's at uh, right now at this point in time. So it's always kind of crazy to me how fast time rolls by, and it seems like just yesterday, Jasmine was telling us about, how we need to start our goal setting and, getting ready for 2021 and making 2021, an amazing year and what have you. And how, on this coming Monday, it's already August 1st, so winter flew by, spring blew by, and now summer is actually on its way, kind of coming to, ahead, coming to an end. And with that, I wanted us to kind of really reflect and look at time. What time do we have left in 2021? So, we do have August and September. And then after that, we are actually going to be marching into our fourth quarter. Um, Let me let somebody. Hello, iPhone. So, I wanted to kind of bring attention to time, our goal setting, what we actually were looking to accomplish, for the year for 2021. And to kind of get folks, if you feel like you're off track or if you're not kind of hitting the benchmarks, that you might have originally set out for the new year, that's okay. We still do have, basically about 5 good months left in 21. But with that being said, I always like to kind of have some self-reflection time. I know that, everybody's going to have their goals, or everybody should have their goals, set, and things that you want to accomplish. And, unfortunately, just the way kind of life rolls, things happen. You might have started out on, like a rock star on fire, and then because of whatever happened, certain things could have happened to kind of derail you or get you kind of thrown off track a little bit. That's life. There's nothing, wrong with that. The thing is to be able to kind of jump back up on the horse and keep rocking and rolling, you know. So with that being said, I think that it's very important that as, realty pros, that we have a sense of direction for our sphere of influence. So, Jasmine always talks about, and Shay always talk about, the importance of the sphere of influence, which is kind of that real low hanging fruit. Those are the people that are in our circle of influence, the people that know you, and that should know that you are a real estate agent. We do not want secret agents at Porterhouse International Realty Group. That is the last thing that we want to be, is a secret agent. So with that being said, kind of looking at how we're somewhat coming up on the close of, 21, I think that it's very important for everybody to kind of take a hard look at, what are you doing, to kind of possibly spur, get some new leads, some business coming your way through your sphere of influence. So always want to kudo the stuff you're doing well, but also things that you're not doing. And with that being said too, it's not necessarily that you need to do, 101 things now to kind of look at closing out the year, but I'd like for you guys to pick one thing and take that one thing and just become very laser focused on it. A few things that could be is our email. So constant contacts. We all have a constant contact account. If you don't have one, you need to get one and get it set up. We do have, I believe, in our brokerment library, there is, I want to say, a constant contact, kind of how you can get it set up and whatnot. The first thing is, if you don't have one, clearly you want to get it set up. You want to import any emails, from your phone, from your computer, anybody that you know, and get them put into your constant contact account. So one thing is going to be emails. So the emailing, I know for me, it's kind of somewhat of that's what I'm going to be focusing on, getting laser focused in for consistently sending out emails how I need to. I want to do 4 a month. So basically 1 a week. And I'm going to be using kind of the remaining months of 2021 to really focus in on getting it set up as a kind of an automated thing. And that's something that we can all, you can easily do with constant contacts, and then presetting them. So week 1 is going to be the first email that'll go out, week 2, et cetera, for the month. That's one thing that I'm really just personally going to be looking at, trying to get laser beam focused in and having it set. And I'm looking at this too, as we go towards the end of the year, I can ride that right into 2022. So going into next year, my email campaign is firing on all cylinders. There's nothing else outside of me taking a step back and kind of like scripting out what's going to happen on the months. Because that's kind of the nice thing too. We know, what holidays might be hitting, certain things that might be going on, and that can help me and help you guys kind of craft your email campaign so that you can kind of preset your emails out for months. So you can already have those 4 emails or that one email, even if you're not, you don't have to kind of overbear yourself and like, I got to do 4, I got to do them, 5 a day or whatever, if you're not doing any, then start with at least once a month. If you're doing once a month, you're better than me, but try to step it up, 2 a month, do 4 a month, but kind of looking at that one thing for me is like, okay, I need to get very consistent with touching my sphere of influence with my email. Another thing that you guys could look at, obviously, most of us are on social media. So what are you doing on social media? Are you really utilizing the platform as a realty pro? That's an area for myself, also needs improvement. I do plan on working that as well, but I'm going to be laser focused on my email campaign. Some folks might have a good email kind of system or strategy in place, but you're not as good or you're not as dialed in with your social media. So same thing, just want you guys to pick one kind of area that, you should be, or you could be doing a lot more in. And again, just getting very laser focused in on that specific niched marketing area. So social media, are you posting about real estate once a month, or are you doing it every day? Either way, you want to let the folks, again, your sphere of influence, know that you are a licensed real estate agent in the state of Maryland, Virginia, DC, wherever you are around the DMV. So then taking the social media aspect and getting laser beam focused for social media. The other thing that you could look at we all got them, business cards. Are you handing them out? Are you actively, handing out business cards? I forget the actual, the numbers, but, I know Shay and Jasmine are very big on 10 cards a day, that can be something that you could just laser beam focus in on. We have, I don't know how many thousands of cards that we got, when we signed up with Porterhouse. I'm actually happy to say that my box is almost empty. I still have a few in there, but it's definitely dwindling down. Um, and I do make that kind of a thing with me in conversation with somebody. Hey, here's my card. I'd love to help you out. Or if you know anybody, please, send them my way. I just want to get that seed. So I know Jasmine, talks a lot about the seed, and our business cards are our seeds. And eventually we will reap a harvest. But if you don't plant the seed, if you don't hand it out, nothing's going to happen, you know? So that can be another kind of area of laser beam focusing in on is business cards. We all have them, I keep a stack in my car. I have some in my wallet, and I'll refill my wallet as my wallet's emptying. I have a stack in my car and I'll refill my wallet. And then once my car is empty, then it's time to put another stack in. And that's kind of how I've been able over time to just kind of, get rid of the cards, you know what I mean? Like just to get rid of them. But that's an area that could be very easily, again, laser being focused in on, closing out 2021 with like, take your box of cards out. How many you got? You know what I mean? Is there just this much that's gone? You know what I mean? So then take a visual snap, or even with your phone, take a picture of your box. And by the end of the year, you need to have a row of them things gone, and I'm sure if you were able to do that within the next 5 months, you will see definite uptick in referrals in business, people calling you, reaching out to you. But that can definitely be a very easy way to get a little bit more laser beam focused. You could focus on business cards, or like we like to call them, your seeds. Another thing, Kerman, we were actually chatting about it before I started the recording, is familiarizing yourself with short sales. There's going to be a lot of things happening in the short sale world as the CARES Act and unfortunately evictions or potential evictions and all of that stuff with COVID. People been kicking the can down the road for their mortgage payments and whatnot. So that's a huge area that as a real estate agent, you could get very laser beam focused in on. We have training in our brokerment all about the short sale process. We have scripts for you guys. All you got to do is kind of go in, tweak the script a little bit, and just follow the plan, follow what they're doing. I know that we had Alan Weiner, from Short Sale Specialists on a few weeks ago, and I've had some success. I haven't had the actual listing yet, but for me, just the fact that I'm getting traction, people that have called my phone, it's great. You know what I mean? Like, and all I did was just follow the script. I didn't do anything, didn't reinvent the wheel. But I wanted to get, a few months ago, kind of laser beam focused on an actual short sale marketing campaign. So that's something too, I think that will have a huge impact on all of our businesses going into the new year. Things are going to happen. Banks aren't going to continue to just let people not pay anything. So, as realtors, we are very well positioned to take advantage and to help folks. We can be of a real help and service to people that are going to be kind of suffering or coming up with a potential foreclosure of their home. So again, that could be another area that you could just, take time out of your day, time out of your week, and just start to become a lot more versed. And, on the previous trainings with Alan, I'm big on to get everything set up, to get all your campaign, to get all your 3 letters, everything that you need for the campaign all in order, and you have all the stuff with you, and then try it out, try a campaign out. It typically takes about a month because of the weekly, the way that you mail things out. So, we got 5 months. There's no reason that you can't successfully from A to Z start a short sale campaign. I'm big on your sphere, or not necessarily your sphere, but your area of location. Where do you live? You don't have to make it too uncomfortable for you. If I wouldn't suggest doing a campaign, an hour away from where you live. You want to have it where that you'll be able to do the mailing and then follow up with the door knocking. So if it's kind of like right there within your area of where you live, it's a lot easier for you to make time to go on that Saturday or that Sunday or whatever day that you let the potential client know that you're going to be knocking on their door. So again, that's another area that, you could kind of take time out and just get dialed in, get laser beam focused on that potential short sale foreclosure market that's going to be growing and expanding over these next months, kind of probably just taking us right on into 2022. So that's another one. And then kind of lastly, one thing that I do enjoy, I've fallen off, but I've actually been getting back on the bandwagon, is reading, reading and journaling. So as real estate agents, we don't always have to read specifically real estate books, but, expanding your mind, expanding, your knowledge is very important. Real estate books are always great, business books, but kind of expanding yourself, journaling, writing down goals, following up, kind of going through your journal. Some folks might already be doing that. Then it's really not anything that you have to be laser being focused on, but it could be something that, as you're growing and learning, being an agent, really looking at it from the standpoint of a business. You're a realtor, but you are also a business entity, or you should be. If you're not, that's something that you should be looking into closing the year out, establishing an actual business entity that you're running your real estate company through. I find reading and journaling on different time management, business topics, I enjoy that. I'm always trying to just kind of feed myself with more information. Sometimes it's not business related, which is nice because it just gives me something to kind of like not always be focused on business. There's so many books and hobbies that you could kind of have interest in, but I find that I think that reading, especially in the morning, and journaling is a very kind of positive way and good way to get your day started. If you're not doing it, or if you've ever thought about it, that's something again that you could kind of look at. Let me get myself more dialed into doing this daily in the morning to take me into 2022. So those things were kind of a few topics that I wanted us to look at, or just kind of throw out there of ways that we can close out the year. I know we still have a few months, but the way time is rolling, before we know it, the holidays are going to be here. I know my kids aren't super excited about, August, school's coming. So, but that's just the way everything rolls, So with that, I figured I don't know, just something that was of interest to me is like, take out your goal booklets that we had in the beginning of the year. I don't know, all of you might have sat down with Jasmine. She definitely made herself available to kind of go over your goal setting. Pick the goals that she wrote out in January. Pick the paper, look at it, flip through it. Are you there? Are you hitting it? Are you tracking? Are you just not doing anything that you wrote down? If you're not, pick that one thing. Pick one thing that okay, sending out emails every month is something that will be a relatively easy, task. Let me do that. Let me get myself set up, and then I can put it on an autopilot where I've already pre-scripted out. So I'm looking at it personally. I need to get my email campaign dialed in. There's no excuse that at this point for Curtis that I don't have a consistent rolling email campaign. More importantly, I want it to get going now and start to work on it now, so that when January hits for 22, I want to already pre-script out practically the entire year. So I can come up with emails. You're gonna have, this is for me or what I'm thinking of, but I'm gonna have that first of the month. Clearly that's going to be the welcome or the new month email, and I can do that for the whole year. Then the other 2-3 emails that'll go out, I might have to tweak it. Who knows what's going to be going on, current events, something that you can kind of tie into, your copy that you're reaching out to your sphere. But for the most part, I want to have like my 2022, at least those first of the months done, and I don't have to worry about it. So that's something that I'm looking at these next few months for me to get laser beam focused in on. So with that being said, I know there's a few of us on. If you guys have any questions or any comments, please unmute, jump in. If you want to talk about anything else as well, I'd love to chop it up real estate. So yeah, that's kind of what I got today.
Hi, Curtis.
Hey, Neitha.
Hey, so you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give my input because I'm going to have to jump off.
Sure.
So, everything that you said is, like you were speaking for me. And I have to be honest in saying that the beginning of the year really started off very inconsistent, very bumpy for me, just because I had so many other things that were going on at that time, where I am really now just kind of, moving into, where I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, there are some things that, I've been working on as far as, the biggest deal is whatever you do, consistency,
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I can't say that I've been consistent, up to this point, but I have started moving in that direction of consistency. And as far as, you can't do everything, but if you could just do one or two things in a consistent way. So the two things that, I'm trying to get or move towards consistency in is I like the idea of the letters for the pre-foreclosures and things like that. So that's something that I'm working on. And also, it's always a struggle for me to be consistent in constant contact, but, if I can just get to a place of being consistent in constant contact, and you actually may help me become consistent in constant contact, because all I'm going to do is just go in and just copy what you've done and send it out,
Like, you might make me consistent, because if I
Yeah.
know you looking to copy me, then I need to put something in there.
Yes, yes. So I think, obviously that's I think the key for anything, any, way in which you are trying to get the most exposure is about consistency, whatever, is most comfortable for you to continue in your business. And so that's what I'm kind of working with right
Mm-hmm.
now. Um,
Yeah.
so I appreciate the, kind of, uh, the reminder, the
Yeah.
gentle reminder
And
of,
that's kind of what I was looking at too with this, is like, I forget what I was doing. And then I was like, man, you know what? The fourth quarter is like, like a month and a half, like 2 months away. We're going to be in the fourth quarter. Like, wow, like the year's flown by. And I saw my, my goal book, and I was like, then it was like, wow, the year's almost out. We don't feel it yet, but the way everything rolls. And I was like, you know what? I have to get better with my sphere of influence. And what easier way is really the constant contacts, and I just have to make it my goal and my point to be laser beam focused in on consistently sending something out to my sphere, and that's just me taking me, like, I got to do it, and one, I think a big thing with goals and things that we want to do too is, if I just nudge that goal just a little bit, some days I might make a big leap, some days I might make a huge leap, and then other days I might just something smidge forward, that over time is going to have a big impact on the overall goal, so it's not like I'm going to go into constant contacts when we get off and set up everything, then you're being unrealistic with yourself, so it's kind of, I always tell folks, little hinges swing big doors, so little things
Absolutely.
that we can do.
Absolutely.
And then looking at 22, bam, now I'm rocking and rolling email. And then you would think like I'm an email wizard,
Right.
but it didn't start that way. It's not that way. It's been hit or miss. I'll send something, I won't send something. And I'm just like, I just need to keep my face in front of all these emails I have. And eventually somebody's going to wave their hand and be like, oh, you know what? I'm getting your emails. I need to sell or I need to buy. Can you help me out? So yeah, I'm definitely there with you, on this constant contact journey. So I'll let you know how it's going for me. And
I'll be checking in with you, so I'll know,
yeah, please,
where I am.
And I highly recommend too, like, the foreclosure short sale scripts and everything. Again, you could print, like, if you haven't, like, print what we have out, and just at night or when you have a little downtime, read through them. You might want to make a little tweak to it. And then, you just kind of take your time, and then you have your whole sequence of campaign for that all printed out, or you don't have to have them printed out because you're going to have to put that person's name, but you have letter 1, letter 2, letter 3. They're all ready. And then you get, the yarn, and you get, your letter.
Right.
You have everything is, in a box, or this is the short sales stuff. And then once you're ready to do a campaign, you start out with, like, you could have 20 houses, but I would start with 5 and kind of, or stagger them so that you're not trying to door knock, which is what I did on this last campaign. I was like hitting like 15 houses, door knocking, which I did. I held myself accountable, and I was like, I gotta knock on their door. I sent them a letter telling them I'm coming. I'm going to hold myself accountable. But in it, I was like, you know what? I should have somehow staggered it, where I did 5 this day, I did 5 another day, and I would have just let them know in the letter, okay, I'm coming by Friday. The next group, I'm coming by Saturday. The next group, I'm coming by Sunday.
Right.
I think
I actually, because I know you had mentioned that before,
mm-hmm.
and I actually was going to reach out to you because I was like, okay, since he's already further along in the process than I am, I was going to reach out to you and say, hey, I want to go out with you one day when you go,
right.
and do the follow-up from the correspondence that you had sent them. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll still, I would still be interested in doing that.
Yeah. And if you have a campaign that you're doing, and okay, this day is when I'm going to go door knock. If you wanted me to come and, come out with you, you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's kind of weird, the door knocking with this, because they know they're in a predicament, and we know I know you're, in a predicament. So some people that have answered the door, I have a couple that were welcoming, and then I've had some very standoff. And I had one lady who was just really, nasty.
Right.
But I had to kind of take to the higher road of, I know that something's going on in your household financially, or else I wouldn't have this information. I wouldn't be here. So if you, are giving off some negative energy, it's all good. I'm here to help. If you don't need it, cool, no worries. And then there's a lot of doors you'll knock on. And I knocked on a few. I'm like, I know you're home. Like, I know somebody's in there. But then again, like, so that's where I have my door hanger, put my door hanger. I left some information, and keep it moving. But I did get some response. And the two that I did get, I'm still kind of, keeping, again, now they're in my sphere of influence. I don't know, one particular homeowner is trying to work it out, see if they can fix it. I didn't want to, kind of be the bearer of bad news, or that's great. If you can do that and stay in the home, by all means, that's wonderful. However, if anything happens, you know what I mean? Like, if anything comes up, I'm here for you. I'm here to help you. And so,
Right.
again, if I have them on the phone now, hey, can I get your email? Drops into constant contact, and now they're in that sphere of influence, and every month they're being touched. So it's just something that we just gotta kind of get into the routine of, and making it part of our real estate business. And I think we will all greatly benefit from it. May not happen that month, like the two folks that I've had several conversations with. It's kind of the long game, because
Right.
they still may not be able, those letters may not have gone out yet from, like letting people know, like, look, you got to come up with some money, or we're going to start the foreclosure process. But they know Curtis Price, you know what I mean? Like, they know they got a realtor that they can reach out to, and talk to. So
Right.
I'm like, that could be that random phone call, you know what I mean? Sitting there on the couch, and all of a sudden, like, you know what? I got to sell. I'm tired. Can you help me out? Bam.
Right.
You know?
Right. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot.
Sure.
So
Anybody else?
I'll absolutely be reaching out to you.
Yeah.
All right.
Look forward to it. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
Curtis. I was just going to say that tonight. I'm just to piggyback on what Anita said. Yeah, it's going to really be something that we need to be prepared for. Like you and I were talking about, we really need to have a game plan on what we're going to do when we start running across this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the time is now to kind of get your verbiage down. What your plan is, and how you're going to even approach people, because people are prideful sometimes, and
Oh,
people they're private, and they don't want anyone to know that anything is going on. We all like to put on that face that everything is great.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But when people know, there's an old saying that people don't care about how much you know till they know how much you care. And when people know that you are concerned, I'm just here to help. If you need it, great. If you don't, great. But I just don't want you to think you're in this alone. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want you to think that you don't have any options, because a lot of times, I think that's the reason why people, when they receive these notices from their mortgage company and they don't open them, because they figure, oh man, we're done. We don't have anything, what we can do.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody I can go to. So when people know, at least you have an option. Now, whether you utilize it or not, that's on you. But
Right.
I just, we don't want people to think, man, this is the end game. I'm just going to lose my house.
Right.
I don't know where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do. There's options. And a lot of times, because what they're saying, from my understanding, a lot of the mortgage companies now, they're not going to be giving people, opportunity to modify. And, a lot of people are not going to qualify that, or what they're going to, because a lot of them are saying, we need some money up front. You're going to have to do this, and this, and then we'll look at whether we can modify you going forward. But you're going to have to come up with something. Well, if I could come up with something, I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in. So,
Right.
I think
Yeah.
that I think this can be a blessing
Yeah.
for people if
Yep.
it's done right. This can take a lot of burden and a lot of pressure off people if it's done right. And I think the more we do it, I think we'll get smoother in how we approach. I think, and one of the things that you said is, when people receive something from you over and over and over again, they know it's not just, hey, this is just something that somebody's trying to take advantage of the bad situation that we're all going through. When they
Right.
see that, you've put the time in, you've come out, you've seen my face, I'm in the neighborhood.
Right.
I'm one of your neighbors. This is my community or whatever. So I just think that that's just something I really think that this is going to be something that's going to be massive. From everything I've seen and everything I've read, it's really going to be a major move.
Yeah.
And the people can take advantage of it will, and there are other people that a lot of people are going to be lost out. And so it's our job and our passion to help people to do what we can help them do. And by helping them, you can get everything you want if you help enough people get what they want and what they need.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that I think that's the thing that we're saying. I know Anita was saying the same thing, going out, making sure people see your face, knocking on doors, introducing yourself to people. I think that's very important. So
yeah. I mean, it just kind of, I really look at the short sale campaign also as a way of just the pulling me out of my comfort zone, right? And making me go knock on a door, making me go talk to a stranger, having a conversation with a stranger. Some people aren't, comfortable with doing that. But if I went through all this effort and set this campaign in motion, I got to go do it. I got to go knock on that door. You know what I mean? Because I told him I was coming and I need to do it, and it's going to make me a better agent in the long run because it's going to make me get, more trained up on the information to talk about the CARES Act or, what's going on, so it's kind of it's a win-win for us as the agents because it's going to make us a better realtor. And then at the same time, we could really help somebody out, and I know that the restructuring things that, folks are going to try to do, or I don't want to, it's like the two folks I've talked to, like, I don't want to say like, it's just, it ain't going to work out. What I mean?
Right. And it's not for a lot of people. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, God bless the people that it does work out for.
Right.
And there may be some few that there's not really, but for the majority of people, the way that unless they restructure this thing, it's not going to be the answer. It's just not. So.
Yeah. But then that's what we're here for. Like, that's what I'm here. Like, what can I help you with? Like, no pressure, but I'm here as a resource. If I can be I've even had folks, actually the two that have, really reached back out to me, I put him in touch with Michael Cooper. Can he help you restructure your loan? You know what I mean? I'd rather Michael be able to help you out. If he can help you out, great. You know what I mean? Because down the road, you know what I'm saying? Like, Curtis really, he introduced me to Michael Cooper and he was able to help me out. And let my daughter, she needs to buy a house. Let me call Curtis. You know what I mean? So it's always not, I think a lot of times too, we can't look at the short game. We will luck up and have that, like, that one person that you just bump into and you end up having a client and they buy a house or you help them sell a house. But sometimes, again, it's that, going back to the business card, it's that seed, it's planting that seed. Here's my card. How can I be of service? Get the, if you can get their information, you drop it into your constant contact, and now they're in the now they're in their funnel. They're being touched. They're being spoken to by you through a consistent email campaign, and that's kind of what I need to focus on closing this year out, is to really dial in my constant contact campaign. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man.
I just got to do it. And that's me holding myself. Some folks out here might have a email campaign rocking and rolling, but they haven't really looked at the short sale aspect yet. So it's like, okay, well, your email is rocking. Look at the short sale thing. Like, get into it. Find something that you can focus to close out your year that's going to help you kind of propel, your 22. Boom. Where now your January, February is rocking, because of
the stuff you do now, the seed you plant now, you're gonna harvest it at the end of the year or the beginning of next year. Exactly. So you hit the ground running.
Yep.
For that. So, well, good stuff, man. I appreciate it. That was really good. It really spoke to a lot of things I've been thinking about as well. So,
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Man. I'm glad you were on, Carmine, and everybody else. Guess I'll just go ahead and end the recording. Let me see.